Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Altenew live stream. And this is Amy's Inspiration Station coming to you live on the Altenew Facebook and YouTube channels. And we have Tracy here. Hello, Tracy. I hope you're doing well. And I'm assuming who we have behind the badge. I want to say that it is Angelica. Are you behind the badge today? Let me know. Oh, yes, it is. Awesome. I'm so excited that we are here. And please let us know where you are coming from. And I would love to know if summer is just about where you are. Has it arrived? Are you in the Northern Hemisphere like I am? Or are you in the Southern Hemisphere and it's starting to get kind of cold? Let me know because summer is definitely in the air where I am. And if you share this live, while we're live, just let us know where you have shared it to. You'll be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. And we are talking summer today. And I have a wonderful set called this Craft a Flower African Daisy. And I was just thinking about daisies because daisy is like that harbinger of summer. And this is just a really beautiful set. And we're going to talk about how we can kind of do some different things to step this up a little bit. All right, we got Geraldine, I see, and Carrie, hello from Michigan. Oh my gosh, watercolor. And we are talking watercolor. And how do you like add up little details? What do you do with a couple of little things? And Tracy, you are in a place where summer never left. And Joy, also from probably a place where summer has never left. And hello, Mira Flowers, and from Peru. So I'm assuming it's a little bit colder down there. And we have Geraldine we have here, and Shiomara is here. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you guys are here. And I see Fedu Gina. Hello, Gina. Hola. And and we have the Crafty Visage. Hello today. And so let us know. So is summer where you are? How are you feeling? Are you feeling like a little bit like the summer, lazy days of summer yet? I would love to know. And I recently heard this question, so I'm going to share it with you guys. And I really, really want to know this. But in the summertime, what is your summer go-to drink? Like, what is that drink that you're like, you know that you're drinking it and you're like, yes, this is summer for me. So let me know. I know for me, it's definitely lemonade. It is definitely lemonade. That's what I have to have. A little bit of some ice cubes, but definitely lemonade. And hello, Debbie from Texas. And it's hot. Hello. I'm so excited that you guys are here. And I'm so excited that you shared this, Geraldine, to your YouTube channel. And don't do the draw. Carrie's like, please no. I already have too much. I get it. Oh, Christine, yes, iced tea. I know. And you have to sometimes I like a little peach in there. So a little bit of stuff. And Debbie, sweet tea. Yes, well, you are from the South. Absolutely. And herbal tea is all allowed. So let me know. Do you have that summer drink? Maybe a little mocktail, whatever it happens to be, let me know. And we are talking about how you can add in some watercolor details. And I'm going to be talking a little bit because you notice that I don't have watercolors on my desk right now. What I have are just the fresh dye ink. So I'm actually going to be watercoloring with these fresh dye inks. And Gina's like, no summer in the Baltics. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And Mountain Dew. But Tracy, you got to put some ice with it, right? Like, what do you have? Like, how big is do you have a cup? Like, what's in there with your Mountain Dew? So let me know. Do you have a summer drink? Because that's definitely what I'm thinking about is a little bit of summer. And Arizona green tea. Oh my gosh, absolutely. I love it with the honey. That's a great idea. And homemade lemonade with fresh mint. Yes. I actually am growing that and I'm excited. So, hi, Karen. Welcome to your first Altenew Live. I'm so excited that you're here. And Gina's like, hot cocoa. But do you put marshmallows in your cocoa or maybe a little bit something else to keep you warmer? Like, what is that? Oh, Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing this. And you too can be like Jennifer and be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. And let us know your favorite summer drink because I'm feeling like summer. Summer is definitely upon us. And I'm feeling a little bit by summer. So I really like this set. This one is really adorable because you're making these daisies. Now this doesn't have the this is not the one with the keyhole system. It's a little bit older, but it has it's very, very easy to put together. So it's not too bad. Oh, I see that, Sharon. That one sounds amazing and delicious. Oh, and so excited you guys are here. And with Kelly Whisker Cards, special day tomorrow. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Congratulations. All right. So before I move to this die set, Jennifer, you're like me. It's got to be fresh lemonade. And someone else had put in that they were putting mint in theirs. And Cheryl, do you put lavender? Because I just like dried out some lavender and I need to know what the heck to do with my dried lavender. And I was thinking about putting it in something like lemonade. So I'd love to know. Water. Jerome was like, water. Oh, Kelly, happy birthday. Tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Exciting. And marshmallows. Oh, okay. Well, I got to say I'm okay with marshmallows for my hot cocoa, because you had mentioned that you put hot cocoa in. All right, so I'm gonna actually grab some watercolor paper. Now, Altenew has, I actually love the fact that we moved to this and that we have your option of the watercolor like paper. So we have a hot pressed, and just to show you, and I know I showed this to you guys before, but hot press. Yes, right, Geraldine? Summer is official up here in the Northern Hemisphere. I love it. Toasted Samoan. Ooh, I like that from your coffee shop. Oh, this is great. Okay, you guys are making me like I need to go and get a drink. What do you think about that, Angelica? We got to go and get some of these drinks. These are awesome. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see this. This is textured. So this is our cold press paper, and it's just a wonderful weight to it. It really does a great job with water. And then this is our hot press, and it's so super smooth. And I know I'm gonna pause them for a second so you can see the difference. So this is our cold press, and this is our hot press. So this is a nice smooth. So this is like what I would use if I want to do these die cuts and I don't want that texture. But here, this is where I want that texture. So I'm going to do a little nice smooshy background, and I'm going to put that one in here. Serena, yes, isn't this die set gorgeous? I love it too, because daisies, sometimes I feel bad, like, you know, making daisies or different color, like the flowers, like all kinds of weird colors. But with daisies really do come in weird colors. So I love it, right? I love making them all kinds of weird colors like that. All right. So I'm going to grab this, and I have my brushes. I'm going to grab these brushes out, and I'm going to do a little bit of a soft background wash. Now, I love weird pottery. So I got this dish I was with my friend, and we had just happened upon like a little crafters like fair. And this girl had just graduated art school. And so she was selling some of her pottery pieces. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice. So I grabbed this little dish. And this is like my little water dish because it makes me think of art. And I got art here and I'm doing art. So it's kind of a little bit of meta, but I thought it was really kind of cool with that one. All right. So I'm grabbing some colors. And I thought, I mean, what else can you do when you're thinking summer except to pull out these three colors? So I have a little bit of Sunray, I got some Aqualicious, and I got some Coral Berry. I mean, these are absolutely wonderful, right? No, try to be. So, oh, and that's right, because Tracy is talking about tomorrow. If you're around, Jen is doing her weekly show. How many of you are participating in Jen's show? I'd love to know that. And what are the labels on your ink pads? All right, are you ready? Are you ready for this, Sharon? And this is a little bit of Amy needing to organize and control everything, but if you're ready. So with the Fresh Dye ink pads, and by the way, if you haven't gotten into these, they're fabulous because they come off so easily, really easy. They set in nice. You might feel like, oh my gosh, it's not tight, but that's actually tight. Like this lid is tight on there. And Altenew sells these labels, which are so fabulous. And you can grab those, and it just makes it easier because these all stack on top of each other. And so when you have them, and then you can see what the heck your colors are. Because otherwise, and I will say, I have not labeled these, and you can see I'm like, I don't know what it is. And then you have to start unstacking them. But this is great because then you can see them. And then because I like to kind of know about these color families, I just took a plain old my label maker, and I made labels. So this is just a label maker, and I made labels by the color family, and then what number it is in the color family. So 1 for me signifies the lightest color, 2, and then it goes all the way up to 4. If I can even find the 4 for this one. I've been playing with a lot of my colors, you know, trying to get out of there. And trying to do, so this is terracotta, which is number 4. So that's how I know that these are in the same family. So, but so great. But these to me are like, these three colors scream summer. And Sue, I'm so glad that you're here. We are talking about summer. And Nancy is here too. I'm so excited. So wonderful. And Carrie, you're doing the Sweet on You challenge. That's great. Sue's here. I'm so excited for you guys. Oh, and they are pretty daisies. All right. That's awesome. Okay. So I felt like I wanted these kinds of colors, and I am trying to pick colors that are a little bit on the bolder side because I want to do a nice big wash on these. So I'm going to grab my largest brush here, which is a 6. And I'm just going to start to put some color down, some water down. And then I'm going to add some color. Now, I'm okay to take this brush right to the pad. But if you're like, yeah, I don't love that, you can actually use an Altenew palette. An Altenew, now this is the small one because I like it because my desk starts to get too many things. But there is a nice larger one, which is so super great. And that larger one is great. It's just, I have the smaller one because the gnomes on my desk, everything starts to kind of fall into place here. So you can take just a little bit of this if you want to. And I'm going to start with that coral berry. And I'm just going to put that right there. And you can see how nice and gorgeous that is. And then I got a little bit of yellow. And I'm just going to put that right here from that sun ray. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of this Aqualicious. And you can see how beautiful these are. And we are talking, if you're just joining us, hello, Jan from Oregon. And I wish we had African violet sets. There is, Tracy. I thought there. Yes, there are somewhere. All right. And so I just added a little bit of water to my paper. And I'm going to keep this kind of in the middle because these sheets are 5 by 7. And I'm just going to, let me just water this down just a little bit. So I want to get this kind of floofy. And now I'm just going to get that water in there. I'm just going to start to merge these. And all I'm doing is I'm just creating a really subtle background wash. Grab a little bit of yellow. And I'm just going to let these kind of blend and see what the heck they do. And where they merge, you can start to see that they're going to create some other colors. And I know that these are a little bit bigger, these flowers, so I need this area to stretch. I went a little too small on this, guys, a little too small. So I'm going to start to stretch this out. And I love doing this because I feel like it stretches my supplies. And again, I want a nice soft wash. These do dry back. So if it feels like it's a little too light, hey, you know what? You always let this dry and then you can add some more color to it. Let me get some yellow in here. And I'm going to overlap my blue, and that's going to make this really, really pretty green. Let me get some more yellow in here. And I don't want to keep that a little bit on the orangey side up there. And now I'm going to grab that red. And you can see I'm starting to kind of push that over to the side. Now, these papers are 5 by 7. I'm going to make an A2 size card. But these papers are 5 by 7. And so I'm going to be cutting this down. And in fact, I'm going to be doing something else to it just to give it a little bit more texture, even more texture than it has. But this is what I'm going to start with. Okay. So that's just a little bit of background wash. This is super light. And I want to add a little bit more to this. And again, this is just my background, but I want to add a little bit more to this. So I'm going to keep on layering this up until I feel like I got it. All right. And you guys are talking some nice flowers. Do you guys have a favorite summer? Like when you have a flower that comes up, is that like, you're like, yes, this is summertime? For me, it's my peonies. And my peonies are just about to come up. And they, of course, right now, there's a lot of rain happening. Sue, right? Aren't you like, I'm like so sick of the rain at this point in time. But we need it. We love it. But it's my peonies. Like when I see those peonies in the garden, then I know summer is here. I start to feel better. I grab my lemonade. So if you have that favorite summer drink, we were talking about what your favorite summer drink is in the chat before. But if you have that favorite summer drink, that's when I can go out on my porch and have a nice lemonade. And now I'm going to be adding some mint to it because that was an awesome idea. And somebody had mentioned lavender. So again, I had dried out some lavender. I don't know what the heck to do with it. So if anybody has any ideas of what the heck to do with my lavender, please let me know in the chat. All right, I'm grabbing some more of this coral berry. And again, these are really dark. Like you're like, whoa, those are dark colors. But because I'm adding this water to it, I'm just making this really, really soft kind of color wash. Okay, here we go. Oh, there we go. And if you feel like it's a little too much, you can always add a little bit more water, and that is going to start to back that color off. Okay, I need a little bit more yellow. Oh my gosh, Sue, I know, it's so gorgeous. And you can't grow them. Is in South Texas. Is that just because it's too hot down there for peonies? But you probably have gorgeous roses, right? Because of your heat, I bet. And we have Maya's gardenias. Yes, that's true. Oh, you know what? I don't we can't those we have to up here, Tracy, they are gorgeous and they smell amazing, gardenias, and I those are a hot weather plant. So I don't have those outside. Dried lavender. Yes, I know. I kind of want to dry it, and I want to put it in some bunches and use it for some sleeping and stuff. Loose. Oh, good idea. And roses. Yes, absolutely. Geraldine's like, yes, it's roses. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna stay with this background. So it's doing its thing. I'm gonna let it dry. So I'm gonna move this over. And I'm actually going to grab my cloth and I'm just going to wipe off my palette. And you could take this and kind of smush down, but I'm going to just wipe this off a little bit. Okay. Why don't you use your glass mat? I don't have a glass mat. Kelly, I have so this is the Altenew mat. I'm going to show you why I love this. It's because of this. It has this little place here for it. And it is my Altenew mat. And so this is a plastic, and I use the stamp mat from the stamp wheel because that will hold my paper in place, and I love using that too. So, but I don't have a glass mat, so that's why I have my palette. And I don't know if this happens to you, Kelly, but I got to tell you, like as soon as I start creating, I feel like my desk gets smaller and smaller. Oh my gosh, Jan, they're already gone in Eastern Oregon? Oh, dried lavender and cupcakes. And on the frosting. Cheryl, do you put the dried lavender in the batter with the cupcakes? I need to know this, so I know what the heck I'm doing with it. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. All right. So now I'm going to take this. I'm just going to put this guy aside and to dry. So he's going to be over there. So if you're just joining us, I'm talking summer cards, and I am doing a little bit of some watercolor fun. And I'm using the fresh dye inks for that. So you're like, why didn't you pull out your watercolors? Because sometimes I just feel inspiration strike, and I'm like, I think I just want to go and just play. And a lot of times I have my fresh inks out. And so because you can do so many different things with them, I like to do that. Right, Carrie? It's like it shrinks every so much. All right, so I'm going to make, this is a really cute set because it has this little bud and it has these two flowers, and one of them is kind of pointing in this direction and one of them is pointing like straight on at you. So I'm going to just grab everything and I am going to just die cut this all out of paper. And I'm going to do this out of some watercolor paper, I think. And I'm not going to grab the bud. So I'm going to keep the bud over here. So I'm just going to grab all the stuff that has to do with the flowers. And then I'll show you how I start to organize all of these little pieces. And these little guys are the centers. So we'll throw those in here. And then throw this guy. And I'm just going to do these all out of white. And then I'll show you what I do with the rest of them. All right. So we got some stems. And we get some leaves. And I think I got 2 more flower centers. Oh, this tape is like industrial strength tape. Okay, there we go. And I need these other centers. All right, 6, 2, and 2. Okay, so everything else that's here is just the bud. So I'm going to push this over to the side. Oh, you're allergic to lavender. Oh, no. Dedicated desks. I know. I'm with you on that one. All right, so I'm going to grab this. And now I'm just going to start to organize them. So this we can see is the 2 like background pieces. And I can tell that because these are the largest. And then this one kind of is bigger. So that's going to go with this guy. That's that guy. And then this guy's smaller. This guy's a little bit bigger. And then these are pretty similar to each other. So I'm just going to kind of die cut those out and figure those out later. And then I have some stems And I think I'm going to grab, I will do all of them. And then I have 3 leaves, and we'll just see how these leaves work, and we'll put them all out. Okay. All right. So this is where, when you have like a larger, like, you know, die cutting machine, this helps a lot. Mine is what it is, which is this guy, but I'm going to try to put all of these on here, and I'm just going to die cut them all out of the same paper. Magnet sheet on top of that strong tape. Ooh, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, and then the magnet sheet then holds, right, Sue, because that tape is so strong. That's a very, very good idea. I like that. All right. Okay, so I'm going to, right now, very quickly, here they are. I'm like, I knew I put them somewhere. All right, I'm going to locate my die cutting machine plates. So I'm just going to die cut these all out. And I just end up, I'm just going to die cut them all out of white paper. And that way I have everything. And I think for you guys, I think I will die cut them out of watercolor paper for you guys. But I want smooth paper, so I'm actually going to use the hot pressed paper. Okay, so that's my hot pressed Altenew watercolor paper, and I'll show you that's the red one. So that's this one right here. Okay, so that's this one right here that I'm using. And lavender and blueberry muffins. Oh, I have to try that. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and put these right on. And again, what's nice about the fact that these are the 5x7 is I'm sure that I can fit everything in here with a little bit of finagling. All right. All right, and if you're just joining us, we are talking about summer and making summer cards and feeling some summer colors. So we are making some bright cards, and we're using our fresh dye inks for watercolor. And I'm going to show you how to add some more details to that as well. So I'm taking the African daisy craft-a-flower, and I am just die cutting whatever the heck I can die cut. I don't think I need 3 leaves. So you will put it to the side, and then I'll do a couple stems. I think that's all I'm going to get. I'll do stems on a second pass. All right, so I'm just going to put the little flower centers in here and put them in. Do you guys like Craft-a-Flower? Is that like a subscription that you guys have? You're looking forward to them? They're so amazing because they look so realistic, and then you can add, you know, some dimensional details and dots and so many cool things to really make all of them pop. Ooh, I think I'm going to get... All right, I'm going for it, guys. I think I can do it. Throwing a stem in here. And this is like Jenga. This is like some sort of weird puzzle Jenga. There we go. Throwing that guy in too. Look at that. I got them all. Look at that. All right, cover on top. Oh, that's great. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Okay, put that back down. And I'm just letting you guys know, I think this is going to work. If not, we'll give it another go. All right, here we go. It's going through. Now I am cutting this out of the smooth, the hot press watercolor paper, and that's because it's going to have a smoother texture. And I'm going to add a lot of texture to the back, so I wanted these to be a little bit smoother. And then I can add some details with some markers, which I'll show you in just a moment. But I think we got it. All right, let's hope that worked. With my luck, I probably die cut a flower on top of a flower. A mail lady. No way, Christine. Christine, you got to tell us, what is like one favorite thing that's in that mail package? What's like the first thing you're going to pop out of there? I knew it. I knew it, guys. It's too good. It's too good. Too good to be true. That's all right. That's why I just have to order more paper. All right, so we got this stem came out, and I jumped these, so I have to do a couple more flowers. Actually, maybe that's not so bad. I think we're going to roll with it because we're live, and we're just going to deal with it. And it gives it a little bit extra texture there. All right. This guy, we're okay. We're close enough. And we're here, here, here. All right. So when I did this, my die cutter jumped, and so it kind of double cut a couple of these. But you know what? We're going to go with it, guys. We're just going with it. Only because I want to make sure if I can possibly get to my second card, I will, but I don't think that's going to happen, but that's okay. We'll get there. All right. So after I'm going to grab all these pieces, and then I'm going to grab that stamp wheel mat and pull that back out, and I'm going to put those pieces right onto that mat. So let me pull this back, get back, and I'm reorganizing. And now I'm going to get my mat back out. All right, and how are we doing? Cozy spaces. Oh my gosh, not bad. I know we're close. And this is 100% operator error. It's nothing to do. The product is totally fine. This is operator error, but we're good. We're going to go with it and we'll make it work with what we got. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm just moving my dies over to the side. I'm going to pull out the African daisy packaging again, just so I make sure I know what the heck I'm doing and what all of these, who belongs to who, what, where, why, when. And I'm just going to make sure that I have everything that I need. And if I need to die cut any other extra pieces, but I'm just going to pull all these guys over here. Lots of little dies. Lots of little dies. Okay, and then we got it here. Awesome. Close. All right, so because my background has this really pretty, wash of rainbow, I'm actually going to keep my flowers to be on the yellow and pinky side. And so here's my packaging again. Oh, thank you so much, Kathy, for sharing that. And you too can be like Kathy and be entered to win a gift card if you just share this live while we're live. And you will be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. All right, so again, I'm just using the packaging, and I try to kind of organize these so it looks like the orientation of this, and that way I know that it's kind of the way it needs to be. And then when you're ready, you can just go ahead and pop them on and get them to where they need to go. All right, so that one goes there, and then this guy goes on up there, and then this guy goes here. All right, awesome. And then I got some leaves, so leaf, leaf, and I got some stems, stem and stem, and then I got some centers. All right, let me pop this guy out first. All right, makeup brushes look better with these. All right, so what we're going to do is I am going to grab some colors for this, and I am going to just start painting. Now, the nice thing about watercolor is it goes on really fast. So I'm actually going to use the watercolor to build up my first layer. That's what I want to use, is I'm going to use the watercolor to build up my first layer. And then I'm actually going to come in and I'm going to use my blending brushes and add some more texture and detail with that. Okay. All right. So this is my base layer, middle layer, and then third layer. So my first color that I'm going to be using is some buttercream. Now this is really light, and I'm going to put this right onto my palette. And I wanted to actually use, yeah, there we go. I'm going to do my other one, like a little bit of like a pinky kind of yellow. Oh, I was going to use Pastel Sunrise. That's right. Well, it's close. Okay, so let me just get some water on here. And I'm just going to kind of brush these a little bit with some water. And that's just to kind of get them flowing. And then I'm just going to grab a ton of color. And again, my goal here is I'm just building up this base layer. And this is that buttercream. And I probably have a little bit of my yellow from before on this brush still, but that's okay. And again, I can just add a little bit more water because this is watercolor paper, so this can take it. But I also want a little bit of that look where some of it's a little darker, some of it's a little lighter. Okay, and that's just going to hang out right there. Oh my gosh, and great. All right. All right, and now I'm just going to grab some of this little frosty pink. So these are the two colors I'm using here. And this is just going to go right on here. So more water. And again, I'm just building up this layer because this is going to be a lot faster than if I use blending brushes. Okay. And it's just going to go right on. So there we go. We got our two nice and golden honeycomb. Oh, Christine, it's coming up. It's coming up next. All right, so I'm going to grab some golden honeycomb. And golden honeycomb, it's a little bit of like a peachy yellow. So I'm going to grab this one next because I want that to have that little bit of peachiness. And I think I'm going to grab pastel sunrise. And I may throw this in. I'm not sure. Kind of feeling this. The Dusty Pink was calling to me a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. So Frosty Pink is there, so golden honeycomb. All right, so I'm going to throw some of this guy down. And let me grab some pastel sunrise. And if this is too light, then I'm going to head over to that Dusty Pink. But we'll see how it goes. All right, so again, adding a little bit of water just because I wanted to, just the ink to start to move. Because again, this paper is really thirsty. It likes water. It doesn't mind it too much. So I'm just going to do a nice little coating, and then I'm just going to grab this in here. Okay. And my whole goal right now is I'm just getting that first layer down. Now I can come in with markers, and that's really like the great thing about Altenew's items because you know what the color families are. So I can come in with water-based markers like these. And these are the dual tip pens. This is water-based. That's great. I can use and add these colors in. I can use the water brush markers. I can come in and add in some more details. And if you even have your detailed brushes, you can come in and add there too. So there's a lot that you can do to kind of zhuzh these up so they don't look so flat and plain. And that's what we're going to do next. You know what? I'm not loving that. I'm going to go with this guy. All right. And again, I'm using the African Daisy. So let me pop that out here so you can see it. This is the African Daisy set. And I am just grabbing some color and just adding this to the base. And then we're going to build this up just a little bit to put these in. And I die cut these out of Altenew papers. So this is our watercolor paper, and this one is the hot press watercolor paper. Now that one's kind of similar to this, so I think I'm going to go in for a second color on that one in just a moment. All right, so this one here is our our little bit of a darker one, and this one I want to go a little bit darker, but I don't want to go so overboard because all these are kind of a little bit on the lighter side. So I want to add a little bit of ruby red, but I think I'm going to mix it in with the peach. I'm going to add, this is going to be a very, very much of a lighter wash. So let me get this guy to be a little white first. So I'm adding in again that water. So when I get this down, it's going to start, that color is going to move. And I'm going to come in and really add and really get this water down. And I'm just going to start to put this in. And that just gives me a little bit of color. All right, I'm actually going to take what I have, and now I'm going to move that. I'm not even going to pick up any more color. I just want to move what I have over the rest of it. And that's because I don't want to go too crazy. Grab a little bit more color, a little bit more, and I'm just going to start to move that through. So those are pretty. So you got the pink, the peach, the pink, and then this like almost red color. It's going to be really nice. And watercolor paper, there's clothes. I love it. This one's really great. And you can see like I don't know what it is. I kind of have like a heavy hand with water. And this paper really takes it, which is great. So I kind of like that about it, is it really does go. Where's that mid yellow? All right, so I'm going to add some mid yellow down here. And I will put this out here. So this is mid yellow. So these are these three. And then these three are these guys for my other flower. So I did not end up using pastel sunrise. All right, so I'm going to get that red off of there. All right, same thing, just adding a little bit of water, and it's not bumping up and it's not pilling. This really is nice paper that you can use. And I'm just going to grab, again, I'm going to really, really water this guy down. And go ahead and, oh yeah, there we go. And again, I'm just taking what I have on this because it's a nice deep color, and I'm just going right over it. All right. And again, my whole goal, what I want to do is I'm just getting a nice base layer down. That's all I'm trying to do right now is just get it. Oh my gosh. Neighbor is chainsawing. Oh my gosh, it's got to be so much going on right now, Geraldine. Hopefully not affecting your roses though. Hopefully not affecting your roses. All right, now I'm going to do my leaves down here. So for my leaves, I want to keep in this like kind of jade. Actually, I want a deeper green here. I'm going to go, forest fern's too crazy. I'm going to go eucalyptus. So I'm going to go jade and eucalyptus. And I'm actually just going to pull this off of here. I'm just going to pull these off the pad. All right, so I'm just going to get a little water in here. And I'm just going to pull that ink right off the pad with my brush. All right. And that's the eucalyptus. And eucalyptus is nice because it has this like very sagey color to it. This is a beautiful color family if you're looking for a little bit of a green that's a little bit different and not too green. This is such a beautiful color family. And this is the frosted foliage color family. So pretty. All right, I'm actually going to go with this guy for my stems. And this is forest fern, which is the darkest color for this color family. All right, you can see it's so, this paper is so thirsty. It wants water. So I'm just going to pop those right on there. All right. Okay. So now that I have all of the pieces that I want, and I'm going to do these centers in just a second. Now that I have this, you know, like this nice base color, now I'm going to start to add some detail. So there's a couple of things that we can do with this. And one of the things I'm going to start with, I'm actually going to add, I'm going to go another round with my brushes. But I'm going to now think about where I want to add a little bit more depth of color. Now I can keep the same colors, and that's the awesome part about this because these are dry, relatively dry-ish. And so I'm going to start to build up this, but I don't want to add too much water to it because this is already still pretty, it's pretty damp still. Okay, and I can dry these. Let me dry them a little bit. Okay, so what we had done here was I added some buttercream, and I probably still have some buttercream here. So I'll put a little bit of extra down. I'm just going to dampen my brush just slightly, pick this up, and I'm just going to start to add some details right at the edges of this. And that's where I want my second layer to go, is right on those edges. And I'm trying my best not to go into the rest of the flower, but I just want to go and stay right at the edges. I need a little bit more. Oh, and I have to say, somebody had said that they needed a little bit of sunshine today. This is what we're doing. We're talking summer. We're talking a little bit of sunshine. We're talking about getting ready for those beautiful summer days. And what for you is summer? Is it the fact that kids are out of school? Is it, you know, just kind of like having those nice evenings on the porch? Do you still get fireflies? I don't know where my fireflies have gone. We don't get them as much anymore. I'd love to know where the fireflies are. What to you spells summer? Is it a beautiful drink? We had a lot of great drinks before, talking about some lemonades, talking about some really, really great ideas, iced teas. Like, what is it for you that spells summer? All right, so let's get a little bit of this frosty pink, and I'm going to come in and do the same thing. I'm going to use a smaller brush on my set, just because I want to really, really go in to these edges. All right, I'm just coming in and I'm just adding some small little details with my darker colors. And again, this is the same color. This isn't another one. This is still frosty pink. It's just because we had that background that we added to it. So this is just going to come in. I'm just going to add a little bit of depth over to what we have. And again, this is all fresh dye inks. I haven't even started playing around. I still got a little bit to go. I got to tell you, Jelly, I like if I had 2 or 3 hours, I could have a whole class. What do we think about that, guys? I think having a 3-hour live is not a bad idea at some point in time. All right, so just adding a little bit of details. It's going to come around here just to kind of start to make that pop up a little bit. So 3 sunny days in October, which covered in fog. No more fireflies. I know. We had some a little bit. So a little bit. I've seen few sun in the days. Doesn't get over 20 degrees. Wow, that is cold. That is cold. I need it to be hot, but I don't like too hot, which is kind of like where I live, which is a nice thing. All right, so I'm going to grab golden honeycomb, which is my middle guy. Put that down here. All right, I'm going to come in again, a little bit of a dry brush, but I still need some water to move that. And I'm going to come in and do the same thing, and I'm just going to add some little bit of details on the edges. So I'm just going to come in and just start to bring these little sections down. And you can even add whatever it is that kind of you're interested in, whatever you want to do. Just add some happy little details. That's all we're doing. Just add some happy little lines and some happy little details onto our die cuts. And this is just going to make your die cuts just look a little bit different. And it's okay. And it's watercolor, so just have some fun. I hope is this inspiring anybody? Is anybody crafting along with me and doing some watercoloring? Love to know that. All right, just add some happy little details. So we're just going to make that just a little bit darker. And I'm just going to drag some of these lines and just soften them through. All right, now this last one that I'm doing, this one sits on top. And so I'm actually going to go in with that mid-yellow. And I am going to actually start from the center and start to move out. So that's because I know that these other ones we won't necessarily see. So this one, I'm going to go in this direction and just start to sweep out. And I'm trying not to get to the whole petal. I want to have some lines. I want to just have some variation and some different colors because, you know, the way when it's growing, it sometimes is, you know, might be up against something else, or the sun is going to hit it a different way. And it's not always going to be perfect. And that's why we love nature, because it's always something is a little bit different. And those petals and everything are going to look a little bit different every time. So just adding some little bit of things. All right. Can't find your water paper. Hey, Jill, it is time. And making a Father's Day card with a strong oak set. Ooh, that's going to be beautiful. I'm excited for that one. All right. Now I'm here to this middle, which I think was dusty pink. So I'm going to go in. I'm just letting those top guys dry a little bit. And then we're going to we'll assemble these and glue them together. And I'll show you guys some other little tricks that we can do. All right. So this was the Deco Pink. So I'm going to do the same thing that I was doing on the other flowers and just start to build in some lines and some shading. And again, this is really super quick. I'm not futzing around. And that's why I love this, because I can just pick up my fresh dye inks. They're around anywhere. I don't have to really do anything super extra. And when I feel like creating, I can just grab these and just start going. Sometimes, you know, whenever it is that the mood strikes you, you just kind of go for it and see what the heck is out there and what you're going to do. Sometimes I feel like, you know, we have too much, or it needs to be organized, or it's got to do a certain thing. And that sometimes hinders us from just doing the things we like to do. All right. Need a little bit more water. So there's a little bit of this ruby red left. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to do the same thing. And unlike the other ones where I started from the petal, like the outside of the petal went down, this one I'm starting from the inside and I'm going up and just adding a little bit of color. Now on here, I was doing color on color, but you can actually, to add even more details to this, we can add either an even darker color or like a complementary color, like a brown, and that will give us some more details too. So I'll show you that in the next segment. All right, so these guys are very light. So I'm going to grab some of this, and I'm just going to start to just draw some little details in. And just add some little bits of little things. Give it a little bit of difference. Almost looks variegated. I don't even know how that came out. And I'm trying not to water these down too much. Maybe some more first. We're trying not to water them down. One thing. Is that right, Christine? Oh, right. I know, Debbie. Like, I feel the same thing. I'm like, I knew they used to be everywhere. We have peepers. I will say that. We have a lot of peepers. For those of you who don't know what peepers are, they're tiny frogs. And you can hear them at nighttime. They are wood frogs, but they're really, really pretty. All right, so we got that. I'm going to grab my blending tool right now, and I'm just going to add some color to this right here. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of color to my stems. Okay. All right, and this is so pretty, and a little bit of pastel. All right, so the other thing that we can do too, because this is just a blending brush and I'm using the forest fern here, is I can start to just add any other little details. So if I don't like how something, dried but I can't move it again, I can just start to add a little bit of extra color and just a little bit of details. Again, it's really super subtle, but these are all things that I can do. And I wanted to do some of these guys. All right. So my last little bit here is I forgot to do my little centers. So I am going to do those right now. And I'm going to grab some melted butterscotch. And I'm just kind of looking at these centers, seeing what the heck they are. I think they put the darkest or the biggest. I hope this works. Figure it out in a second. All right, that looks pretty. And then I'm just going to do some yellows. Pastel sunrise. Do some sunray. All right, I'm just going to grab some sunray just to do the last little bits here. Just put those right on top. All right, I don't know where my other one went, so I'm just going to let those other ones go. Those will be our centers. All right, right? It's so pretty. So now we got a couple of things. So I'm going to attack these a little bit more. So I just need to give them a rest. They just need to rest a little bit. And if you're just joining us, I'm doing the Craft a Flower African Daisy, and we're talking about how to do this with watercolor. Stretch kind of some of the, some of those things that you have. If you look, have these inks on your desk, there's so much that you can do with them. And that's really the neat thing is, you can take these and you can watercolor with them. And you saw how fast that was. I just did all of the die cutting in one fell swoop. And now I'm here. All right. So I have this right now, and it has a lot of nice texture to it. And what's neat about it is it has this, really, really beautiful texture. But I want to also add in some other stuff. And so with this, and you can see now this is a 5x7 as well. So it's one of those ones that as a 5x7, I have to kind of get this down to be the right size for this. But I also want to add a little bit of extra texture to it. And so that's what I'm going to do here. Isn't that pretty? And again, so fast, right, Kelly? So fast. So this is the Dotted Swirls embossing folder. And this is neat because it's going to put a little bit of texture into this right where we want it to go. And I'm going to put this right on here. And I'm going to run this through my machine, which I put on the floor. And this is just going to put in just a little bit of texture. And I know I have my paper's texture. Everything's kind of texture. I'm going to put this on as a little bit of texture here. Okay. All right, I'm just trying to line that up. And then we're going to start to do the rest of this here. Oh, does not want to play with me today. There we go. It's going the wrong direction. There we go. All right. So I'm not cutting anything. I'm just kind of paper piecing, or paper piercing, I should say. Kind of like the way it is with a tin mat. So it's hard to see unless you're like right up in there, but it's so pretty. And you have used the back, and that gives you even more texture on that. But I kind of like how that is. So it just kind of takes that wash and makes it a little bit more. Now I'm also going to grab some black. Actually, I don't even have black. So I'm just going to grab some dark gray. Do I have dark gray? I'm going to grab some super dark green that looks almost blackish, and I'm going to put some splatter onto this. If I can find my guy here. All right, so I'm just going to grab my palette. Okay, just add a little bit of this to it. And spruce this up. I'm adding a ton of water. And I'm just going to flick and kind of splatter this on there. And all I'm trying to do is just give it another little bit of an edge, okay? Put those over there, just a little bit. So it's kind of blackish, but I had some dark green, so I'm going to put that right in there. And then I'm going to shoot this up with a little bit of heat just to get that to dry. And then I'm actually, if you guys can remember when we used to tear our papers? Do you guys remember? Remember when you used to tear the paper? That's what we're going to do. So, but the texture, it's like, this is so super easy to do because, you know, again, very super quick, but it just does that right up. All right, I'm just going to tear that. I also like to sometimes use like a little bit of metallic in it. Oh, I actually have some gold. Let's do some gold. We're going to throw some enchanted gold here and do some enchanted gold because it's going to be pretty. All right, so I can take this, and I know that this is not a watercolor. This is a pigment ink, but I can actually do the same thing if I can get enough color out. Hold on one second. I'm going to grab a block this time. That is this side. And then get this. Oh my gosh, you hated tearing your paper. I know, Christine, you have to like understand, like just to let that go, because it's the whole point, right? Is that it's kind of torn, and you're like, what am I doing? But it's all right. Okay, so again, this is enchanted gold, so I'm just going to get this to be nice and watery, and then I'm just going to flick this on as much as I can. I might have got too much water. I think I got excited. Get a little bit more on there. I think I need to re-ink this guy. And again, nice and simple. It's a little hard to see because this is so shimmery. There we go. And you got to have right there it goes. There's a nice, perfect texture. I'll show you guys in a second what I'm looking at because I know you guys are looking at it like, I don't see much, Amy. And I'll even just put a couple of splatters of gold over here on these guys. And now we get some splatters, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. You can actually see it on my desk. So you can see a little bit of those gold splatters, but it's really starts to look nice. And I feel like it kind of breaks it up a little bit, so your eye's like, oh, where do I go to? I'm looking at it. Okay. All right, now I want to get this to be about a little less than what I want for a card. So a card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, but I kind of want to tear this down a little bit less than that. So I'm just going to make some pencil marks where I know I want to tear it to. So I think I want to tear it to be about right here and about right here. And I'm also want to tear it to, and I'm just looking at because that debossing cover die is a size. So I'm just kind of looking at making sure that I have a nice big edge to it. And that's all I'm doing is coming in here. And I think I actually want to do more pink. So I'm going to come in a little bit more. I'm going to come in right on there, and I'll come in here on that side. And if you're nervous, you can always use a ruler to tear it, or you can just go right at it. And that's going to give it that little bit of a torn, deckled edge. But by having those lines, then I kind of know where I want to go for my finish size. Okay. And I know you guys are looking at this like, oh my God, what did you do? All right, I want a little bit of white on that one. Okay, so now we have our piece. So let me grab my card base. And I actually want a darker card base. I was thinking navy or black. I think I'm going to go with black. And I'm going to look at brown. So I kind of like this on brown, but I think I want to go black. Yeah, there we go. No, I want to go navy. All right, so I'm going to put this on navy. So there's my little piece. And you can see that because I put it on the navy, and I'll show you what it looks like on white, because you can definitely put this on white, but I just wanted a little bit of a deeper color to it. So on white, it would look like this. So pretty too. But I'm going to keep it up on the navy because I feel like that puts it. I know it's totally self-control tearing. It totally is. So now when I take these and I put these all together, and I'm seeing that we've already exhausted my time here. So I'm going to put these together really, really fast, but they start to fit together. And so because I have these details there, you can see that they start to just really pop up. And that, again, these are just 3 colors. So now when I put these on here, look how pretty they look. And these are nice because they're just going to find, it's like putting little puzzle pieces together, but they're just going to find their buddy, and they're just going to go right in. So how pretty are these? I'll put this down here. That one yellow goes right up there. And then we can put in our little stems and our little bit of our leaves. And voila. So just really super pretty. And you have this nice, beautiful, doesn't it just scream summer? Oh my gosh. So super, I know it's super summery on white. I kind of like the navy because it's going to pop those flowers out even more. And I will, I can even take, and that's what I'm actually going to do right now, is grab a marker. So if I can grab like a little bit of a darker yellow marker, and I'm just going to grab this one. This is from the Zanzibar set. And I can go around the edge of this and just do a little bit of an edging. And as I do that, when I put this down, you're going to now see that edge pop up, and I'll show you what it looks like because I realize that I'm very far away. But where I did that little bit of an edging, it's going to kind of pop up, and I can use those markers to add a little bit of those details. All right. I hope this inspires you guys. Grab those markers, grab all of the things that you have, and see what you can make out of it. And I hope that you have an absolutely fabulous, wonderful summer. And for those of you in our Southern Hemisphere, that you have a fabulous winter. And thank you so much for being a part of this today and taking the time to let Altenew craft your life. So thank you all so much. And thank you so much to Angelique, who is behind the badge. Thank you so much. You are fabulous. And everybody, I hope that you have a wonderful day. And yes, Sue, you did win the drawing. So I hope that you get something super fabulous. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.